Hey everybody, welcome back to Tabletop and Hobby Stop. Today we will be finishing up the third and final scenario for Fighters of Europe, the follow-up game by Capsicum Games to Fighters of the Pacific. Alright guys, scenario 3 of Fighters of Europe. This is the third and final scenario for the demo box that was sent to me. And this one is going to be a bombing run. The last one was a bomber hunt on the part of the British. This one is going to be a bombing run. The German are looking to bomb out this airfield. It's going to be 5 VP each one of these tiles that I hit, and then it's going to be an additional VP for every one of the British fighters that I destroy. Now the British are a little bit on the backside for this one, I feel, because they only get the 1 VP for each bomber that is destroyed. So their whole goal is to prevent me from bombing this airfield. Now I get to choose my loadout, what type of bombs I get to go with. I can choose either a level bomb or a dive bomb. I will put that up on the screen now. And after turn 3, Jozlynn gets the ability to launch additional planes from the airfield here, and those start at low altitude on the strip, and then she gets to move with them. And
I have a maximum of 6 that I can have on the field.
Yes, she has a maximum of 6 Spitfires on the field. So I will be using the Ju-88 with that tail gunning. I have 3 speed, 2 armor, bomber, dive bomber, torpedo bomber, 20mm gun. So I get to choose the bombs I'm going with. However, that 20mm gun means that my very first spot is a double damage, so I can take out her Spitfire in one hit. However, her Spitfire does have that agile trait, so she'll get a little bit extra turn and a little bit extra maneuvering. We will skip forward, just like in previous scenarios. We'll skip forward to turn number 3 to start it off. We will have that plane out and ready to launch for Jozlynn, so let's get right on into it. Alright, here we are starting on turn 3. Jozlynn has her Spitfire is going to launch north right here. She brought this one that was in the clouds up and over, I think, to cut these guys off or get a side attack. And then these ones she brought together for a head-on attack towards my guys. And all I did was a simple just bringing them forward. I have the initiative. I think it might be in my best interests to go first with these guys. So I'll actually go 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now I know I'm probably going to take some damage from this. It is now Jozlynn's turn.
Okay, and I can go 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
So
alright, so there's that first point of damage on me. I will skip.
I think I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3.
So there is my second damage there. That is her guy activated. I will let her go one more time.
Guy here, I'm going to spend 2 to get him up in the air, then 1 and agile turn this direction.
Activate your last person and
3.
It's in my best interest. I think Jozlynn might have overlooked this one, which will be her downfall. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That is an instant kill on him. So we will put him over on my victory board, and then I will go 1, 2, 3 for the activation there. All right, on to turn number 4. I maintain initiative. I think I will go first once again. And I am going to go 1, 2, 3, and I will cause Jozlynn to have to dodge with her Spitfire.
This, actually.
Yeah. And then for my second in the group, I will go 1, 2, 3, and cause this Spitfire a damage, not taking it out, but I do cause it a damage. And that will be my activation. Jozlynn gets to activate her next person.
I'm going to do a split S and flip this way, so now I'm under.
Okay. I think this may be a dangerous move for me, but I think I will skip.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. I will take the damage and get the kill at this point. So I'll take 1 damage using my 20mm head-on guns to take out this Spitfire.
I'm going to climb here, and I'm going to, that's 2, so 1, and I'm going to agile turn.
From just 1, 2, 3, moving my way towards the airfield to actually try to get in position next turn to take them out. Now the question is will I maintain initiative? I'm not so sure. So we'll come back with that. Turn 5 and things are definitely getting spicy. We counted up the initiative and Jozlynn managed to steal it from me because I have the 3 damage planes and then I'm in 3 groups, so that's 6 initiative. And it has 5 initiative. This guy is coming on this turn, so he doesn't count towards it. So she flips the initiative, and then she gets to choose whether she gets to go first or I get to go first, which is a dangerous proposition, dangerous place for me to be in right now.
So I am actually going to go first, and I'm going to play my new guy right away. So I want to, while I'm low, I'm actually going to turn here.
Okay.
And then I want to flip so I get into high altitude right away.
That...
See if I can try to...
That is not what I wanted.
This guy.
This guy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have that quandary again of whether I want to try to do damage, because I could, per rules of the reaction chain, I could take her plane out, but I don't think it does me any favors. I think I made a decision. I'll have to go forward, and according to the reaction chain, you go down, back up the line. So if you activate A to B, hypothetically to C, you would then go C, B, A in reverse order to resolve the reaction chain. So unfortunately for Jozlynn, this person's going to get taken out. However, she did prevent me from getting her field this turn. So we will see if I can get something. I believe I'm going to go next. I'm going to have to go next with one of these 2 guys. Let's go with him. And we are going to go slide 1, 2, 3, and then we'll dive. And that's actually going to get the AA gun to take me out. However, I will have successfully bombed this strip.
The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting my guy back up. So I'm going to go up. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go this way.
Okay.
Because I want to I want to go back up again, so that's 3 points. But then, per my range, I've got
so
you in there.
Well, I need to slip.
You have a dodge move.
Dangerous stuff right here.
The game, or the fact that you're playing against your wife?
I think I will turn here, causing a chain reaction and make you have to dodge with this fighter. So
and my dodge is moving forward. Like, can I move forward?
You can absolutely move forward, and that'll actually cause a secondary dodge reaction, which I didn't realize when I brought up the dodge reaction. So
I'm game with that move, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
let's do that.
Okay. Now where do I want to go with my last guy? Because he is already damaged.
Damaged goods.
He is in fact damaged goods. I think it would be safest for me to just head forward and get completely out of the range of fire. However, that is going to once again prevent me from causing the airfield any damage this turn, which I was really hoping to clinch in some damage on this airfield.
Have them here. I go up 1, 2, 3.
Jozlynn still has one of her things here, and as per the scenario rules, I get to bring on some additional bombers here. I did not get enough in the demo box here, so I'm actually going to use one of these HE-111s, but we know what it is, so we'll just roll with it until one of my guys inevitably gets shot off. So let's go ahead and count up the initiative. All right, Jozlynn definitely still has the initiative.
Given the board, the thing I have to figure out is, do I want to give you a chance to successfully hit the base again, or do I want to try to get your team? But the problem is, you're not activated. I have to factor in the fact that you can dodge.
Yes.
But if I make you dodge, you can't use that turn. So, lots of things to consider here. I think I'm going to have you go first here.
Okay. Well, I think the safest and most logical thing for me to do is going to be to turn for 1, dive for free, 2, 3, and that dive will be another dive bomb, taking out Jozlynn's ability to get reinforcements. However, that will cause me a damage because I am on the AA.
Have we decided if the field is destroyed while my plane is still on it, am I technically airborne, so I'm good with this Spitfire, but I can't bring any more in, correct?
So I do think that is something that they should clarify in the rules. Maybe they did and I just missed it, but I am calling it that the Spitfire is up in the air. I think that he's launched, he's airborne. However, the field is blown up behind him, so...
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic
exit there.
launch.
I'm actually going to take 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Get there.
So I now need to dodge. I think I will just go 1 forward, which will cause Jozlynn to have to dodge with this last person over here.
I'll just go
straight forward 1. Okay. So no damage there. However, she did put me on the back foot. As you guys can tell, I'm getting into this. I'm not even on the couch anymore. So I will go 1, 2, 3, and I will do my dive and bomb this last airfield area here. And so the airfield is completely destroyed. According to the scenario, it doesn't say too much in the way of points here. It says for each enemy bomber destroyed is 1 point. So I think I did win the scenario.
Yes.
But for the sake of an emotional victory, we will finish out and see how many of my bombers Jozlynn manages to destroy.
Going to turn here and get, so that's turning while I'm low altitude, that's 1, 2, 3, and turn this way, and I've got him.
Yes, and because she is at low altitude, all of the clouds count as high altitude. That does not block any line of sight to destruction. So she did in fact take this guy out with that move. I'm gonna throw it in. Well, actually, let's replace this guy.
Can you put my low point over there?
We'll just
Just one.
give her a point there.
I need something on the board today. Okay, so that's that guy's activated. Can I have a token for
Well,
him?
you have actually destroyed 2, so I'll give you 2 tokens
Oh, hey, thanks.
because you did fantastically today.
1, and then 2, 3, and do a free dive. And do I go into here?
You free dive forward and you can turn
Forward and turn there
and
and get
thus
that guy out.
take him out. So no bombers coming home today. I have the initiative once again. Like we said, we're pretty sure I won based on what the points say. However, we wanted to finish this out for the sake of the moral victory of destroying all the bombers. I'm going to go first, and I'm actually going to slide. I'm going to dive bomb for 2, or dive bomb for free, and then move 1, 2 forward. And I know I'm probably going to get killed here. However, I wanted to take out this AA for my following attack run up here.
So get him up and climb and then face this way.
Okay. I will let you go again.
So I think 1, 2, 3 turn has you in my sights.
All right. Let's get one more. So all of the original bombers are definitely out of here.
I call that a win. I will take it.
We will actually cut it there, guys, and we will be back in just a moment. Final thoughts on Fighters of Europe Scenario 3. So this is our last scenario of the demo box. I'm going to throw it over to Jozlynn, who had a really, really tough match. So I want to hear her thoughts first.
I'd say the biggest drawback that I found in this scenario would probably be the points system. I'd have to play it again multiple times, but I think the thing that I felt a little deterred by was not quite sure how I was expected to win here, especially with only getting 1 point for taking out a bomber plane, but he gets 5 points for taking out a base, and then 1 point for taking out my Spitfires. So in that aspect, I would say it was a lot to ask for, and I think we need a little bit more initiative or way for the British to be able to score points for this particular one here.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe the level bombers, maybe I'm missing a rule with the AA. They did say they count as being at low altitude, and you cannot shoot at a plane at higher altitude. So I figure they're mimicking being above that AA range until you go down. However, I will say I do feel this was a very, very tough scenario, especially with the dive bomber, where it's like I don't need to dive until I'm under there. And I knew that her taking out one of my planes did not equal anywhere near. I mean, total overall, she had 8 victory points that she could have won. My victory points for knocking out 2 of the airfield spots equals 10. So maybe if they would have dropped it to each one of the airfield spots are worth 3 or 4 victory points, it would have stacked up a little bit more even. I take out 2 of her spots, but she takes out all of my bombers, then it would be even. I think definitely getting all 3 spots with the dive bomber proved to be a little bit easier than I would have initially thought.
Something that I want to say as well is I don't know how many turns it normally took, but having played this scenario a couple of times now, my biggest thing that I enjoyed here would definitely have to be the storytelling side of it, because it is like they're coming very quickly. You don't have a lot of time to plan. Your guys are kind of trying to scramble, and then it does turn into a revenge tactic, because you're like, you killed my guys, destroyed my bombs, even though we've lost. You're not going to get away with it. So yeah. There is a story here, which I did really appreciate about this.
Yeah, scenario. Absolutely. And there is also something to be said. I have played this game way more. I just through virtue of the YouTube channel. I played around with the Fighters of the Pacific on Tabletopia before getting the Kickstarter. I now have the Fighters of the Pacific. I really enjoy this, so I've gone through a decent amount of games at this point. Jozlynn is the less experienced pilot here. Maybe if I would have taken on the other side, it could have gone different, but I still see it being very challenging a very challenging scenario to win as the British, and maybe that's by design. I mean, it is a bombing run, which those are really hard to avoid historically. A bombing scenario on a stationary target is definitely no joke. So I think, like I said before, maybe there was a rule I missed about the AA, and if there is, you guys could definitely correct me down in the description. All the rules are pretty much the same as Fighters of the Pacific. However, the game itself I am still very happy with. I'm still going to back this on Kickstarter. I love this game system, the simplified mechanics, the overall flavor, without getting too deep into the weeds, is still my favorite thing about the Fighters of the Pacific and the Fighters of Europe game that I have played so far. You don't need to pull out a whole bunch of stuff. Getting my son or my wife into a tabletop miniatures game where they need to sit there and read a million cards just to do a single game, it's not quite their flavor, and I completely understand. I mean, most times it's not my flavor either. So something like this, that I can pop it out on the table, I can bust open a scenario, and we can run it through. I can explain the rules to someone in 5 minutes, and generally by turn 3, they're boogieing along. You know, there's mistakes that will be made. It is a game that you learn the little, I'll say, fidgety bits. It's not too fidgety of a game, but there is some fidgety things about it, because you're paring down this whole movement system into a hexagonal system. There is going to be a little bit of fidget there, but overall, bombing run, I enjoyed it a lot. I would actually like to play as the British next time. I played as the German all the way through for this scenario because these two were not going to play as Germans. So yeah, I liked it. I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments, and I have some Fighters of the Pacific stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe. And
also, if you guys really enjoy World War II, this is a fantastic way to just have a greater appreciation for the battles and the dogfights. It's something that has made researching and learning about this war so much more interesting to me. World War I, World War II, just getting to see the actual dogfights that, you know, everything happens so fast, it just gives a whole new light on it. So that's one thing that I think that the game does very, very well. So if you're a fan of dogfights, it's an awesome game to play.
Thank you guys for watching Tabletop and Hobby Stop. Click the like and subscribe down below, and we will see you in the next one.
okay, big breath.
Are we filming this right?